Just take a look around you. Your watch, your coffee maker, even that car driving down the street. What if I told you they were all part of a single, invisible network, constantly talking to each other? Well, that network has a name. It's the Internet of Things. And in this explainer, we're going to pull back the curtain on how it's quietly reshaping our entire world.
It sounds a bit like a riddle, doesn't it? I mean, what could possibly connect the fitness tracker on your wrist to a massive tractor out in a field, maybe hundreds of miles away? The answer, it turns out, is the key to understanding one of the biggest tech shifts of our time.
And yeah, the answer to that little riddle really starts with understanding what we're actually talking about here. So let's start with the basics. What exactly is the Internet of Things? At its heart, the idea is actually pretty simple. The IoT is a giant network, but it's not for people. It's a network for physical objects, for things. We're talking about everyday items that have sensors and software baked right into them, letting them connect and swap data over the internet, all happening in the background, usually without you having to lift a finger. And this is the really crucial part to get. This isn't just about your smartphone or your laptop. We are talking about, well, pretty much everything else. Your car suggesting a faster route to work, a medical sensor monitoring a patient from their own home. Heck, even the carton of milk in your fridge could one day be on the internet, telling your grocery list it's time to restock. So how does all this magic actually happen? It really just boils down to a simple three-step dance. First, you have a sensor that collects some data, like the temperature in your house or the location of a package. Second, that data gets sent out over a network. And third, an application crunches that data to do something smart, like automatically adjusting your thermostat or updating a delivery ETA. Simple as that.
Okay, so we know what it is, but how big is it? This is where the whole thing goes from just being interesting to absolutely mind-boggling. The scale of this connected world is, well, it's almost hard to wrap your head around. By 2024, the total number of connected IoT devices is expected to hit 83 billion. To give you some perspective, that's more than double the 35 billion devices we had just back in 2020. The growth rate here is nothing short of explosive. And you know what follows that many devices? A whole lot of money. The financial value of all this IoT tech is projected to be as high as $6.2 trillion by 2025. Yeah, this is not some niche little tech fad. It's becoming a fundamental pillar of the global economy. So where are all these billions and billions of devices? Honestly, a better question might be, where aren't they? They're in our homes, managing our energy. They're in our cities, managing traffic flow. They're totally revolutionizing healthcare with remote monitoring and changing farming as we know it. From supply chains to connected cars, it's quietly becoming the invisible backbone of our modern lives. But, and this is a big but, connecting 83 billion things to the internet doesn't happen without some really serious challenges. With all this incredible convenience comes incredible risk. And this really gets to the core tension of the whole IoT world. On one side, you've got this amazing promise, smart, automated environments that make our lives easier and better. But on the other side, every single one of those connected devices is a potential weak spot, a new door for hackers to walk through, a new way for data to leak, and another little piece of our personal privacy compromised. Let's break those risks down into the three biggest hurdles. First up, security. A lot of these little devices just don't have the horsepower for heavy-duty security. Next, privacy. How in the world do we control who's collecting all this personal data and what they're doing with it? And third, standardization. Right now, it's kind of the Wild West. There's no single universal language for all these devices, which makes getting them to work together a huge, huge challenge. This quote from the research really just hits the nail on the head. Consumers unwittingly compromise their privacy one piece at a time. It's not one big event. We adopt these convenient little gadgets one by one. We click agree without reading the fine print. And before we know it, we've given away way more of our privacy than we ever intended. But here's the thing. Even with all these serious risks, the IoT train isn't slowing down. No way. In fact, it's picking up speed. So let's take a look at where this is all going and how it's building towards a future that's even more intelligent and, yeah, even more complex. You can kind of see the whole journey on this timeline. We started with the Internet of People, social media and email. Right now, we're deep in the Internet of Things, connecting all our devices. The next logical step is the Internet of Everything, where we loop in people and processes. But look what's on the horizon, something called generative IoT.
And this brings us to generative IoT, or GIoT for short. This is the big one, the fusion of all these connected devices with generative AI. Now imagine a security camera that doesn't just record a break-in, but actually generates a detailed description of the suspect for the police. Or a factory robot that doesn't just follow its programming, but designs a more efficient way to build something, all on its own. This is where we're headed, from simply reacting to actively creating. And there are really three key technologies that are making this future a reality. You've got 5G, which gives us the super fast, super reliable network we need. You have AI, which is basically the brain that lets these devices learn and make decisions. And then you have cloud and edge computing, which provides all the raw power to process these mountains of data. Which brings us to our final and maybe most important question. As we move from just connecting our stuff to making our stuff truly intelligent and autonomous, we have to ask ourselves, who is actually in control here? That is both the central promise and the central challenge of this secret connected world.